Okay, now that I've shown you how I planned my garden, I wanted to take it to the next step and show you what I do once I pull my seeds. I'm not quite ready to get my seeds into some soil this week, but I did want to go ahead and get my planting done because we're in the middle of some rainy weather and this is a great time to be indoors, and so I wanted to take advantage of that time and be productive. So in the last video I showed you how I lay out my garden space on a piece of paper, and then I go ahead and I pull from my seed boxes. Most of them I pulled from here, which are some of the older seeds that I have. So I went ahead and I've done that. I also went ahead and drew out a diagram of my herb garden. Now this is where I keep my garden shed. There's usually a little table and chairs here. I got a solar panel set up there that actually charges a battery that provides the light for my garden shed. I have a really large tree here. And then along the fence line I have my herb garden set up. And then on the outside of the fence I have a little smaller garden set up there. And the only thing that's still left in that garden is the rosemary. But I plan to add some watermelon there because it gets a lot of sunlight and it's pretty close to my water source. I can drag the hose over there. Okay, so what I've done is I've drawn out my herb garden layout, and I know which plants are still alive and will continue to thrive. And then I went ahead and I pulled all the seeds that I plan to use for that particular garden bed, and I will be starting those here this weekend after we are finished with all the rain that we're having. Then in my vegetable garden and fruit orchard, the square rectangular boxes are the plants that I need to start. So what I did was I took a piece of paper, regular printer paper, and I cut it in half. And then with that I folded it in half. Here, let me show you what I did. Let me take the rubber band off of here. This is going to be box number 1. Now I've labeled my plans. So this is going to be box number 1 up in this corner, and everything that is going to go in that box is tomatoes. So I took my, so I took my paper and I folded it in half, then I folded it in half again, and then I folded it into 3s. Okay, and then I opened it back up. And I don't know if you can see, but it gives me kind of a grid, a pattern. And in that grid, what I will do, I pulled my seeds. Here's all my tomato seeds. Now I do plan to grow some extras because I'm going to give some to my neighbors, and I'm also going to plant some in some new boxes that I'm going to be building in the spring as well. And they'll just stay in their little plant, their little starter pots until I can get those beds built. I might even sprinkle some into my herb garden over here because I'm over here every single day, multiple times a day. So I might even sprinkle some of those tomatoes into that. So what I've done is I pulled the seeds and I labeled this page number 1, and it's given me my grid, and then I'm going to go through here and mark in each one of those grids which tomato plants are in there, or which tomato plants I plan to start in each one of these boxes. That way I can keep track of which one of my seeds are the best, what the age is. It'll help me go back later and remember, wow, you know, that was an awesome tomato plant, and I'd really like to grow more of that next year. And I'll know exactly which tomato breed, which species it is. You know, was it the beefsteak? Was it the purple Coban? Was it the black Krim? You know, that way I'll know exactly which one of those seeds I'm using so that I can save them or use them again next year. Okay, so as you can see in this box, I've done that for all of my beds. So like here is bed number 2, and it says bell peppers and cantaloupes. Well, in number 2 are all the seeds that I plan to use, and then that way I can keep track of what I'm growing in what bed so that if it's a success, I can repeat it next year. Okay, hope this helps. God bless you, prudent woman. Bye-bye.